in such a good mood right now. You know why? Because off to my right side, I have a fat bag of McDonald's breakfast that I got this morning because we don't have any groceries in the house. If you have anything that you're promoting, that you're wanting to get more eyes and ears on, an event that you're wanting people to attend, a book, a podcast, something new that you're launching, any kind of finite thing, this video is going to be for you. What I don't like seeing is that kind of direct language. Buy my book, buy my course, attend my webinar, because you know who's going to go to those things? Your mom, their neighbors, couple friends, and some colleagues. But I'm assuming you're someone who wants to grow your audience through some of these efforts. So how do you do that? How do you get strangers to come across your stuff and, more importantly, interact with your stuff? This is what we're going to be talking about. These are just kind of some little nuggets of wisdom that I wanted to share. There's two things that you got to do. You got to create demand, and you have to do it effectively. So what does that look like? How do you do something like that? The first thing that I'm going to tell you is that the point of content. I know people have mixed feelings about social media and content creation. It's a much harder job than a lot of people give it credit for. But your job with whatever it is that you're doing is to do one of or a combination of four things: educate, motivate, inspire, or aspire. You're creating content that's teaching someone something, that's motivating someone to do something, that's inspiring someone to do something, you know, like all those action words. Being a former educator myself, I really, really love working with curious people. That is so much fun for me. So my kind of like natural spot to hang out in is in the educator role. So that's what I like to do. And being in the line of work that I'm in, which happens to be marketing, that's a big pain point for a lot of people because they know that they need to do it, they know that they need to have it, but there's lots of conflicting information out there. They know that they need to do it, but they don't want to, they don't have the time to, they don't have the budget to. Like, there's all kinds of reasons why. So my favorite thing to do is to basically tell people to pause, take a step back, and chill for a second, because it doesn't need to be that hard. So I like simplifying things and making things more transparent, and I like to do that in the marketing space. So it helps to create demand in one of those four kinds of formats. How do you turn that into action? By acting as people's mirrors for their pain points, because people hate being reminded of things that make them a little uncomfy, things that they need to do but they're not going to do, things that just hurt, things that are making their growth a little stagnant. You kind of want to be a little cruel in that way and be like, hey, you know, that like hard thing that you know you should be figuring out, I got the answers. And that's where, yes, while educating, inspiring, informing, like all that stuff, while that stuff is really important, how do you do that? By using problem-focused language, looking at the thing that you're talking about from the viewer's perspective. You know what you do and how you do it, why you do it, how much you do it for, all that stuff. You have your process, but that's more like internal kind of thinking. People don't care about your process. They don't. You care about your process. Investors might care about your process, but the person that you're wanting to help and get money from, they don't care about it as long as it fixes something, as long as it works, as long as there's some sort of outcome or transformation or some kind of promise at the end. Whether it's guaranteed or not, there's a pot of gold at the end of the rainbow, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And in the case of promoting something, a course, a webinar, a book, a podcast, whatever, I don't think it's the most effective to just be so direct about it. That is the easiest way to promote something. Buy my book, buy my course, hop onto my webinar this weekend, I'm doing this thing, come by, I'm doing this event. That's a really, really easy way to advertise what you're doing. But like I said, only your mom, your friends, your neighbor, maybe your aunt, your dog, and your colleagues are going to come to that. If you're wanting to attract more people, that kind of needs to take the back burner, and the value that you're providing, the pain points that you're highlighting, the stuff, the knowledge, the information that you're sharing, that's the value point. So that needs to be the front seat driver. That controls the radio, not the literal thing that you're promoting in the back. They don't need to be anywhere near the front seat, which sounds backwards, but hold on for a second. So like I mentioned, I am promoting a 4-week workshop series on LinkedIn because that is where the audience that I think would benefit the most from that hangs out. That's why you don't really see me promoting it too much on YouTube. So the other day, this is what I posted. I posted a picture that I'll put up here somewhere that says, no one cares about your process, they just care that it works. So literally what I just said. And then this is what I captioned it. I said, real talk, no one cares about your process, they care about whether or not it works. It's no secret that the key to building trust is to educate, inspire, or motivate your budding audience, but how do you get them from a passive audience member to your client roster? A lot of it comes down to messaging, and if that's fuzzy or your offer sounds like everyone else's, it won't matter how great the methods to your madness are. The bottom line is, hardworking entrepreneurs like you don't need more content, they just need more clarity. So what does that look like? So I'm kind of setting the stage, right? Not only did I acknowledge a pain point, highlighted it, and I'm saying, there's actually a way that you can fix that. And that opens up kind of a really natural way for you to upsell. I'm opening a private 4-week sprint series to just 10 people, and we'll be tackling this exact issue in the very first week. Clarity creates clients. So now I'm informing them, hey, if you want to get the goods, this is a private event, only 10 seats, creating scarcity. All of your problems around this type of topic are going to be answered in this thing. And then that's followed by more information just in case you're curious. Now, because I'm wanting to attract primarily strangers, new people, right? I need to tell them what's in it for them. People are selfish. They want to know what they're going to be getting out of something. They want to know what's going to make them better, them happier, them more money, save them more time. I've said it once before and I'll say it again. Marketing is a blend of psychology and social emotional intelligence. People love thinking about and talking about themselves. So here's what you get. This 60-minute live cohort style workshop offers no fluff, hyper-personalized educational experience to help you out. Now here's the call to action. Last day to sign up is Monday, April 28th. Get the details here, and then I drop a link to my landing page where it's got all the information, pricing, all that stuff. Now, if you want to put pricing right in the paragraph or right in the thing that you're promoting, go for it. I really like setting expectations up front, both as the provider and as the consumer. I want to know how should I think about this? What can I expect? Does a price point like this make sense for what's being offered based on the information that's being given to me? So you'll notice I didn't start out saying, hey y'all, guess what? Exciting new stuff. I'm proud to announce. So excited to say, like, all that hyper buzzy LinkedIn language. I like, ew, gross. Wash that off. Real talk. Bottom line. Let's talk about the elephant in the room. Like, you're highlighting a pain point. You're educating, motivating, inspiring, whatever, that pain point, because you have something that they want. So you're basically saying, hey, I'm a real one. I'm one of you. I get it. This is what's going on. Because if they resonate with that, they're going to stick around for the second half of the message where you say, I have the solution. Here's maybe a little preview of it, or here's a little free tiny little nugget of it, maybe talking about the what, not the how, or the why, not the how. Like, you don't want to quite give it all away. And then you very naturally kind of plug in that upsell, because if I feel like I'm being seen and heard and valued in some kind of way through this problem-focused language, I might be more inclined to sign up, because I'm thinking you have the answers. This is meant for me because you're making it about me. At the very least, I'll click on your link and check it out and see what's going on. Sure, it doesn't mean that I'm gonna attend. That's what the job of the landing page is for. Well, that's what the job of the whatever call to action link, whatever thing where people can go for information, whatever information that includes, that's kind of like the selling point. Right now you're informing, the call to action is to sell, and whatever that selling hub is, if it's a landing page, whatever, that's kind of where you're addressing their concerns, being transparent with pricing, expectations, the result, the outcome, the transformation, all of that stuff. And then when the event comes, or when the thing comes, you better be ready to deliver, whether it's in a podcast, whether it's in a live coaching session, a book, whatever. So I hope this is helpful, but whatever thing it is that you're wanting to like spread the word about, try playing around with making that the secondary thing. What is the answer that people are getting out of it, and how can you translate that into everyday content? Is the problem that you're highlighting going to attract the people that you want to see there? And are you able to deliver on it? Because if you can do all of that, it's even more of a reason for people to want to trust you. And why do we want trust? Because then that means people like you, and you want people to like you. I don't care if you're someone who's like, I don't care what people think, I'm going to do my own thing. That's probably why you don't have many sales or clients, because it's your way or the highway. I'm not saying to bend your standards. I'm not saying to decrease your pricing. I'm not saying to do any of that. I'm saying you're showing up as you, as the authority, as the person with the answers, as the person with the transformation, making it about them. Likability and trust are two of the biggest adjectives that you want associated with your reputation. Like and trust are like peanut butter and jelly. Like and trust are like macaroni and cheese. Anyone can post anything on the internet and make it sound good, but I think there's something extremely admirable about just being direct and straightforward with the information and the value that you're providing in accessible, straightforward, transparent language. And if you happen to deliver on that, boy, you're a triple threat. You are the real deal. And I've got plenty more to learn. These are just things that I've picked up from my own experiences. I'm a highly self-aware and reflective person, and I've also worked with a lot of different people. So these are just kind of things that it's just like a little cocktail from my own experiences and other people that I've worked with and things that I've seen work for them. So I hope you found this information. I'm like dying to eat this sausage egg burrito that's in my bag. I haven't been able to eat that for 20 minutes because I wanted to make this. So if you're into this kind of thing, you might want to consider subscribing or signing up for my newsletter. newsletter. Otherwise, if you want something a little more experiential, you might want to sign up for my paid community. It's got some cool, good stuff on there. Information's in the description down below. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video. Take care until then. See you later. Bon appetit.